it's very much about making the story not as from the perspective of the designer only, but also to incorporate the whole stuff that is in the company. Like they have to feel it's also their story. So it's impossible if you just make what you want and you're all based on this idea of I'm being a great designer and here is my piece and now you sell it. You make them, you bring all the rest of your partners in a lower category. You make them just your sales team, and nobody likes to do that. Our job as designers is more to, to in a way work with the limitations and make give a logical answer. And this logic is for sure also part of the beauty of the objects, because you see something which comes naturally is also having a beauty. Since when you talk about this product, you feel here in the front leg, we had to make it much bigger, this detail, than we actually wanted it. Now I think it's nice that it's big. It would be a pity if you wouldn't see it. 5 years is like not 5 years continuous working on that. It's more like working on an idea, then you present it, then you get the feedback, and then you have to. We looked for 1.5 years for a manufacturer. It is not an ongoing thing. We wait for feedback. I mean, this is just it's just in between a lot of breaks. I think with Indians is possible. With Chinese is partly possible. I think ideally is a situation where the manufacturing is not so far away. I'm not a great believer in manufacturing projects for our market in China. I'm absolutely against it. I try as much as possible not to use these resources because I believe we have the better ones here, and we can push our boundaries much better with our own tools, because we find a lot of limitations there in quality, in precision, in flexibility, which are really significantly ruining our design, and that you see everywhere. I mean, we are basically bored about what objects we find. It's not so crazy. Mainly it's about standard processes which are just applied, and this is the reason I want to get rid of that. And that's why it proves that you can do projects a little bit more expensive, but with amazing quality in Europe. This is made 100% in Germany. Is okay price. I mean, it's 350 euros. It's okay. But for some projects, it's just you have to go to China. Then it's okay. India is different because for India we are not working on projects which are supposed to be for the German market. It's an Indian company setting up an own product, designing own products for an Indian company selling in India. Doesn't come back, and that is for me interesting. That's much more interesting than doing something for our market, because it's the role as a designer is something in my eyes as someone who has an ability to transcript. You see, and then you transform it into a story or a product. I have a long background a long relation to India. I had an Indian girlfriend. I was having a super nice family who are very close to mine, and I was there with all my family like in November. You've seen maybe from the pictures, they were always with us, and from that point of view it makes me, I think, a little bit I wouldn't say that I understand India, but I would say I'm having a close relation to this country. It's also about establishing contacts between my students and India. This is part of the project, and I also would like to have the schools in India maybe involved in our design scene. Let's see what I can do. I think it's interesting. India is, if you compare it to China, China is just doing everything to make it the most profit, and is absolutely making no compromises if it comes to life, personal kind of. How do you say? They're just very arrogant. They don't respect the people at all. They're absolutely abusing them. And we are just playing all our role in this game. We are using all these Chinese products, but India is not as efficient as China because there's a democracy, you have to respect the people, you cannot do whatever you want there. And I think it's for me much more, I much more like to work with India. I mean, maybe in 2 years' time we talk more about this when you see some results or not. It's in a moment an experiment.